can state and federal appellate courts hear appeals of matters of state law issues and matters of federal law issues? The line of appeal is pretty straightforward between the federal courts and the state courts. A federal trial court decision is appealed to the Federal Court of Appeals or the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals for that area or district. A state court can never review, a state appellate court can never review appeals from a federal trial court. Likewise, state trial court decisions cannot be reviewed by the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals in that way. The lines of authority do not cross at this point. State trial courts are appealed to whatever appellate courts exist within the state. Now, from the appellate courts, the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals or the state appellate court, it's generally appealed up to the state Supreme Court or the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, at this point, if the state Supreme Court decision is challenged by a party, that is, it can be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court because the U.S. Supreme Court is superior to all other courts. So it can review the decisions of state Supreme Courts. And it does this to create uniformity of law across the land, but it will generally only review these types of cases when there is an issue as to whether the state Supreme Court's decision is in some way unconstitutional or violates the party's constitutional rights in that situation. Now, there are limited situations. This is not appellate review, but where a state trial court or a state appellate court's decision can be stopped or halted by a federal trial court. That is, the federal trial court could issue an injunction to the state court or the state court of appeals to stop adjudicating the matter and to allow the federal court to continue to resolve or adjudicate the matter. An injunction is a stop order in that situation. But again, that's not appellate review. So there is some cross of authority there, but the lines of appeal are rather linear going up, and the federal courts, the U.S. Supreme Court, is the only federal appeals court that can review decisions from state courts, and it only picks up cases generally that come from the state Supreme Court. It will not reach down and get a state trial court decision or a state appellate court decision unless it has been appealed, perhaps denied, by the state Supreme Court.